Hey everyone, and welcome back to Beam and Board. Well, it's officially been a month since I started this business full time, and today I wanted to share with you some of what has been working and some of the failures and some of the things that I've learned along the way in the first month of chasing this dream. So let's talk about what's happened so far. I started the Etsy page and I made my first batch of items to sell. And the majority of those items, well, they've been things like cutting boards and coasters and some other small projects, some small ornaments and some wall hanging projects. Now, I did make one unique set of coasters that were made out of walnut that looked like guitar picks, and they were in an amp shaped coaster holder. So it's been a few little odds and ends, but I really haven't drilled down as far as what I would like to make every day in the shop. So far it's been all kinds of odds and ends. Now, along with setting up the shop and getting these products made, I've also started this YouTube channel. It's really been intended to share the behind the scenes, but it's served a couple of purposes for this shop. One, it does give some advertisement and drive some sales, or drive at least some traffic to the Etsy shop. But two, it helps keep me on time with products. While there is some extra time spent making videos, there has been more of a deadline component to getting things made because, well, I want to have something done so I can share a video with everyone here on YouTube. Now, as far as Etsy, it hasn't been smooth sailing so far. I know that Etsy is usually a slow to start platform, and that's what I've experienced. And I have seen some significant traffic through the store, but I've not really seen that much in the way of sales. So that tells me I have some work to do. I need to figure out what is going to sell. I probably have my prices too high, especially for a new shop, but I also don't want to sell myself short on the products that I'm making. So all that to say, starting out on Etsy, at least for me, has been challenging. Now, something else that I've learned with Etsy is it takes a lot more than just uploading a product. It's much more than just making the product and uploading it. There's a lot to putting the titles together, the descriptions together, and sure, there are things that you can use that'll help you. I've been using ChatGPT to kind of give me a boost in how to put together the descriptions, but even that requires some refining, and I'll put these descriptions together, and Etsy will come along and encourage or recommend a change. And I've been going along with what Etsy has provided because, well, this is their platform, and I know that if I'm making sales, they're making money as well. So I do follow their guidance. But there's a lot to learn, a lot in the descriptions, the titles, the keywords, all of that stuff combines. And then, as I mentioned before, how you put together the photos is so important. And I really think that's one of the biggest challenges that I probably have, is just the lack of photo quality. And that's something I want to work on, and I just haven't put the time into it. And I can tell you that getting this started has been very, very time consuming. This has been a full-time job for the last few weeks with very little return. But the hope is that one day down the road, the return will be exponential. There'll be return for all the work, for all the effort, for everything that I put into it, that the sales will start to pick up. So here are the numbers for the first month with my Etsy store. Total views, 519. Visits, 236. But only 2 orders, for a revenue of about $100. Now, I know that many of those views and those visits to the shop have been driven by social media links. My store has been shared by friends and family, and that has really driven the traffic to my shop. Some of it is also coming from the YouTube channel. But out of all those views, all of those visits, it has converted to 2 sales at this time. While we're talking about numbers, let's talk about YouTube. The YouTube channels had 81 subscribers and 5,395 views in the last 28 days. So that's really encouraging. So as far as the first month, While I've not had great success with Etsy, there's a lot to learn. I'm sure that some of this is going to be advertising, some of it's going to be pricing, some is probably going to be just putting the right products out there that people want to buy. So there's a lot to learn, and that's going to be the focus going into this next month. And this next month, I'm going to focus on the Etsy store, kind of refining the listing process. I want to get some systems in place where I finish with products and I just kind of streamline listing them. I also want to work on the description process, and I want to work on adding a few new products to the Etsy store. And lastly, I really want to double down on the video content. I had shared that I would be here once a week at least with new videos. Now, this last couple of weeks, I've been on vacation, and this was a planned vacation from over a year ago before I ever started this channel. So I had originally thought about getting the material together and working on that while I was out, but that just didn't happen. So now that I'm back, I'm working on putting together more content, and I really want to provide you with just valuable content. So I have some ideas of some upcoming series that we can work with, some back to basic stuff. And I noticed that everyone seems to really be interested in the workshop cleanup, so I'm going to work on some videos that might tie in well with that. Just some stuff to help with organization and cleanup of a workshop, because let's face it, for everyone who has a shop of any type, a workshop, whether you're a maker or a woodworker, welder, whatever, you're working on cars, one of the biggest problems that we have is storage and organization. So I'm going to work on some things that I've used in the past that work. I'm going to share some of the things that I'm going to have to work on currently, and just how maybe we can get from point A to point B with setting up a workshop and making it more efficient. Now, if you're interested in any of the products that I've made in previous videos, or just seeing what I have out there on the Etsy store, the link to the Etsy store is in the description. If you like this video, you want to see more, click subscribe. And as always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next build.